it's the crap Goth. My name is Pixie and welcome to my channel of randomness where you never know what you're gonna get. Today is questions with. So anybody who's new to this channel and doesn't actually know what this is the third set of questions that I've done. So I gave people across the world the opportunity, and it's still open if you want to take part, to ask me any 10 questions, literally anything goes, from funny to rude to personal, whatever. I will answer literally anything. I will do it in a manner which is appropriate, or if I think it's too hard hitting, I will still answer it, but just will do it in a way that I think I can manage to do it. But literally anything goes. So if you want to take part in it, hang around until the end of the video and I'll tell you how to do that. So today is questions with Shauna. So please do stick around to see what she had to ask. Some of them are pretty funny.
Hi there, this is Shauna from Florida, and what'd she tell me to do? Wait, oh, okay. My first question is, what makes you smile? Where do I look? I mean, like, really smile, like just cheese up and grin kind of smile.
Okay, so the answer to question one, well, so I have them all written down here because otherwise I'll just forget them. So the question one, what makes me smile or properly cheese up? Quite a few things, I guess. I think probably when I get the chance, right now with the situation being as it is, I think when I get the chance to talk to other bigger YouTubers than myself, which is it makes me feel like, you know, when I get invited onto live streams and stuff, like I'm gonna say, like I've been invited on Popcorn Planet with KORI. That was really cool. Steph the Ultra Nerd's been here, although she was here for KORI, it was like, oh my god, she's here. Obviously Lauren Lumber, I've got a chance to talk to Sexy Rob from Lauren Lumber, and Ian Runkle. Meeting Ian was incredible. Obviously I met him when he came to KORI's funeral, and they've invited me on their live streams. I think it really does make me, it gives me a confidence boost, and it makes me smile massively because these are people who are way bigger than me. Like, I've started talking to another YouTuber called Heavenly, who is amazing, and there's just lots of people. There is so many people that I really can't kind of name everybody, but you know, when people take the time and they're so much bigger than I am. I mean, I'm small fry compared to these people, and it's and they're talking to me, and they talk to me like I'm a friend and that I'm an equal, which I don't always feel like I'm an equal, especially when I talk to Sexy Rob from Lauren Lumber. Sorry, it's just a joke. I'm sorry, Rob. I know, kind of like Rob and Ian and everyone, and obviously Emily D. Baker and all these people who are lawyers, and I'm a housewife. So when I get invited on to speak to people on like live streams and stuff, it's an honour, and I get a little bit fangirly, and I get a bit like, oh my god, I get super excited. I also feel that way about the BBC. So I've been working with the BBC, like kind of like on and off over the years, to do with KORI. We've been on documentaries, and we had radio shows from our house, breakfast shows, and I'm due to go to the BBC literally in a few days' time to go on an afternoon show with them. So to kind of be invited by the BBC to come and do something because they want to talk to me, it's a huge honour. That makes me cheese up. It makes me go, oh my god, I'm actually good enough to do something. Because I don't have a lot of self-confidence, as much as I might come across as the fact I'm confident on camera. I'm really not. I'm very, very shy. I'm very, very self-conscious. And so yeah, I think being accepted and invited to do stuff and recognised and just, yeah, treated nicely, that makes me cheese up. It's really nice. Like, even now I'm going, oh my god, it's really cool. And you guys subscribing to my channel as well makes me cheese up, believe me. Like, having those little baby steps, and it's like you see the subs going up, it's like, and people want to talk to me, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah, that's it. That makes me smile. Thank you.
Okay, Shauna here. Am I supposed to say that every time? Anyway, I think it's second question. They might be out of order, but who is your hall pass?
Oh my god. Who is my hall pass? Oh my god. Can I have a list? So if people who don't know what a hall pass is, it's obviously I'm a married woman. A hall pass is when you are given the right for one night. That there is no, you can do whatever you want with this one person, and there'll be no comeback from it. It's just like, you know, you can have a night with whoever it was. Who would it be? I don't know. So there's lots of people that I obviously quite fancy, like singers in bands and things like that. Like, you know, you probably won't. Well, a lot of people. Oh, I'm just so embarrassed. So it's like, I don't know. I quite like Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse. I like gothic men, so I have quite a big thing for goths as well. Like, so possibly Marilyn Manson. But I think if it had to be one person, excluding, like, everyone's going to think I'm going to say Johnny Depp, and I don't fancy Johnny. Like, I'd have him as a really good friend, and I think he's great. I like, obviously in Captain Jack Sparrow at Get Up, it's a little bit different, but as a person, oh my gosh, like, I think he's amazing. He's an amazing guy. But if it could be anybody, a whole pass for anybody, I think it would have to be Ryan Reynolds. Which I'm sure a lot of people are going to join me on. I would have said Keanu Reeves at one point, but I've been watching a lot of Ryan Reynolds films, and I just, yeah, I think it's going to be Ryan Reynolds. He's just sexy as fuck, isn't he, really? And funny, and yeah. I know that also Spanky has a man crush on Ryan Reynolds too, so, you know, it's, yeah, anyway. Yeah, his wife is stunning as well, so there's going to be no chance, but there we go. He would be my hall pass. Definitely.
Hello again, Shauna here with question number 3. We'll go with that. What is something that you do, or that we can all do, to remind ourselves that we matter? We really do. We count. But that's so easy to forget, so what do you do to remind yourself that you matter?
Okay, question 3. So what is something I or all of us could do to remind ourselves that we matter? I think possibly just talking to other people. I think it's really easy, especially when something goes badly wrong in your life and your confidence is knocked. And I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. Obviously, losing my little boy, I genuinely just wanted to die. I thought that my life was over. I couldn't live through the grief, that I didn't really care. And especially because KORI was also a YouTuber, and I mean, he was way bigger than me, like, obviously because of Make-A-Wish and all the American YouTubers and everybody else who gathered together to kind of boost him up that far, that to get him his play button so quickly. He became big fast. And I think because I also started my YouTube channel, I think it was about a month after KORI's, which was actually Steph the Alter Nerd's idea when she came here. She said, look, why don't you start your own YouTube channel? And then KORI was like, yeah, Mum, come on, you can do it. So I think a lot of my YouTube subscribers came from KORI's. So I felt in a way that I was piggybacking from Crack in the Box. And I genuinely thought that when KORI passed away, that everybody would just go, oh, she's just KORI's mum and KORI's no longer here. He's the one we're interested in. We're just going to like walk away and leave her. I had a real big fear that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to carry on being a YouTuber, and that nobody would be interested in this, and my channel would flop, and that hasn't been the case. I think because I've been open and honest with people, and I've come on videos, and I've made mental health videos and talked to people about how I feel, and finding other people in the same kind of situations and the people feel the same. I think definitely it would be, sorry, I've got the questions down here again. So it's so something I do to remind myself and to remind others they matter is literally talking to other people. And because you find you're not on your own, you're really not. Like, there's people who have had things far worse. There's people who are going through the same thing as you as well. So you're all in that kind of same situation. And with KORI being as well known as he is, we've all got that in common as well. So I think we all boost each other. So that's the way that I find we all matter, is by boosting one another, talking to one another, and just being kind to each other as well. I think if that makes any sense at all, that's how I think about that one. Hopefully that makes sense. I tend to waffle.
Hi, it's Shauna again, and my question number 4 is going to be, what is something that people, me, would be surprised to know about you? Glad I don't have to answer this.
Okay, question 4. What is something people would be surprised to know about me? So quite a lot of people now know that I used to live in a tree, like legitimately lived in a tree house. I've squatted buildings, just a lot of things. I was an eco warrior for many years, on and off. I lived on different protest sites around the UK. So that's not really a big thing, because a lot of people who watch this channel know that already. I don't actually know what's the one thing. I'm called Pixie, so I wasn't born with the name Pixie. My birth name is KORI. So my mum called me Pixie because I don't know if you can see the shape of my ears. They kind of go into like a little point. This one's a bit dodgy because I had a blown out stretcher. But see my ears point? So my mum told me right from being a little girl that when I was naughty, she'd used to pick me up and peg me on the washing line by my ears, and they stretched. Obviously she didn't do that, but that's what she used to tell me she did, and that's why I've got pointed ears. So she used to call me her little Pixie. And when my mum was killed in like a road accident, and not long after that I decided to change my name to honour my mum. So I changed it from KORI to Pixie. And it's all legal. I am legally Pixie. I'm not legally KORI anymore at all. So maybe that's something people don't know about me, that I was so. But I will always be Pixie. I don't really like to be referred to as KORI. Oh yeah, and when I got absolutely shit-faced one night, it was we'd been to a friend's funeral. It was my friend's ex-husband's funeral, and we'd been to his funeral, and we got absolutely shit-faced, like completely drunk. And we went back to her house, and she had a piercing kit. My friend's name was Karina. She was one of my best friends ever. She was a bridesmaid at my first wedding, because I've been married before to Ebony's dad. She had a piercing kit, and we were both completely like wasted, and we thought it would be a great idea to pierce my labia, which is obviously my girly parts. And so I was laying there, and with my pants off, knickers, whatever you want to call them, and she's got the shakes a little bit, bless her, and she was like, she rammed this needle through and it got stuck halfway, and I'm going, oh my fucking god, and she's like, oh, we could do this, like, hold your breath. And basically she pierced my lip, my lower lips, with this ring, ball closure ring. And I was still very drunk, and she only lived around the corner from my parents at that point. And I remember stumbling around to my parents' house and like ringing their doorbell. And my mum answered the door, and I'm like, Mum, guess what I've had done? And she's like, what? And I went in and just dropped my knickers in front of my parents, went, look at this. And my mum's like, oh my god. And it was in front of my dad as well. And I was like, oh, and I was an adult. So she was just like, oh, for goodness sake. And then one of the times I don't even know if I had friends over, but I didn't have a ball closure ring in. I had a horseshoe piercing, which is one of these little ones. So they're not, it's like obviously this is ball closure, this is a horseshoe. I had one of those in my lower region, and I was wearing lace pants. Don't know why, but I was. And I was sat down chatting to, I think I had got friends over because I was chatting outside in the garden, sat down, and I stood up to make a drink, and I stood up really quickly, and the ball bit went through the lace of my pants, and as I stood up really quickly, it basically nearly ripped my vagina lip off. I know, it's something, I have never screamed so loud in my life. Luckily, I only tore my flesh a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I am never wearing lace knickers again. So they all went in the bin. But yeah, there you go. There's a few things you didn't know about me. I bet you weren't expecting that one, was you?
Question number 5 is, what is something that you have done in your life that you're most proud of yourself for? Whether it was something that you overcame, or something you did, or a mindset, but like what you patted yourself on the back for. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Right, okay, so what is something I've done that I'm most proud of? So I think pretty much people are going to know the answer to this already, and it is living with my son's congenital heart defect. Now, it's not something I was given a choice over. So, I mean, I was told at 20 weeks pregnant that my little boy KORI had a condition called hyperplastic left heart syndrome, which is literally half of a heart. So, and I was given the choice to terminate the pregnancy at 20 weeks, and that just was not happening. I was not going to do that. So I went ahead and had him, and obviously, you know, you do everything as parents do. You go through everything. Like, it's not a choice, but at the time you just deal with it and you go to pieces afterwards. But I think it was the thing I'm most proud of, and it's the thing that hurts the most because he only passed away in July last year, is when they told me that he was in palliative care. And KORI was still in Newcastle Hospital at the time, and they took me aside into a little room and said, look, we really can't do anything. And they were crying because they'd got to know for KORI. I mean, they've known us for years. KORI's been going to this hospital for years. And it was being told that he was going to be in palliative care because KORI did not want a third heart transplant. He'd already had two. He said he'd rather die than go through it again. And it was then hiding it from him, which was, I went against medical advice because they wanted to tell him, and I refused. I said, I absolutely forbid anybody to tell KORI that this is what's going to happen. I'm not having him frightened. Unless he directly asks me the question, I will live with it by myself. I will, you know, manage myself, but I'm not telling him. And I didn't. I managed to go probably about 3 months into him being in palliative care, knowing he could have died at any point. And then he said, we're having a conversation. He said, Mummy, am I going to die young? And obviously I broke, and I was like, yeah, baby, you are. And we ended up having a conversation. And then it was watching him deteriorate, going to stay in hospices, and seeing him getting weaker and start to lose his memory and things like that. And then it was, I'm most proud of the fact that, this is a hard one, my most proudest and hardest time was when he actually died in my arms. He'd got his sister, John was at the end of the bed, Ebony's boyfriend was in the front room, and he was watching it on the camera because KORI had cameras in his room. He was very close to KORI. And I held KORI here, and I was talking to him and telling him how much I love him and how special he is. And Ebony was saying the same thing, that he's the best brother in the world. We had Pirates of the Caribbean playing on his Alexa very quietly, and we watched him take his last breaths. And I just went into, I didn't go to pieces. I went into auto drive. I rang 999 and got everybody over, and obviously they did the ECG, and that's when I went to pieces. But then I chose to spend 5 days with him post him passing, and not going into so many details because I've done it on my grief and loss video. There are certain processes that happen to somebody when they pass away, and usually the medical staff would take care of that, and I was like, no, I have to do it. I'm his mummy. So I'm not going to go into those details, but my proudest thing was the fact that I was able to be strong enough at that point to handle the fact that he passed away, and that I knew I had to look after him for 5 days, whatever that entailed. And there was a lot to cope with, which has messed me up now, but I'm proud of the fact I did it. And because of all the help of people around the world, we were able to give him the most beautiful, beautiful funeral, which will be shown on his YouTube channel very soon. So that was my proudest moment, was holding it together for my eldest daughter, being there for KORI at the very, very end, and looking after him for the 5 days I was able to, when he needed me the most. I was still his mummy, even though he wasn't here. I was still his mummy, and it was my job. So yeah, very, very hard, but that is something I am proud of. Even if now I feel as though I can't live without him, the fact I did it for him, I'm proud of that.
Question number 6. This is just a curious one is, how old were you and what was your first tattoo? And is there a meaning behind the tattoos, or like a reason or an expression to get them, like with piercings or something? I'm a non-tattoo person, not for any particular reason, so I'm just curious.
Okay, had to take a little break then. Oh, sorry about that. So number 6 is, how old was I and what was my first tattoo? Why did I get tattoos? So my very, very first tattoo, I was 16 years old, so I wasn't even legal. And it was something so basic. It was just the name Lee, L-E-E, and a little love heart. And it was my boyfriend's name at the time, who I was utterly in love with. He was this, he was probably, I'd say, my first love. I think he probably really was. He was part Italian, he was very good looking, and I didn't know what he saw in me. I was punching well above my weight, so I thought at the time. And I went off and I got his name tattooed on my arm, and it was just here. And I've got a bra on, so you can't see it now, but basically it was just here underneath all of this now. In fact, I don't even know if you can still see a dot. And then I had a dragon put over it, and now it's just full of I've still got all that bit to do there, but yeah. So I've got I've had it covered up. But yeah, and the reason I get tattoos, so I like the fact, because I'm alternative, so it kind of came with the territory of wanting to be more heavily alternative. The reason I started getting facial tattoos, completely being honest, was because I was in an abusive relationship, and a very controlling one at that. And I used to draw these little 3 dots on with eyeliner. I'd go out to the Whitby Goth weekend, I'd draw them on with eyeliner every time, and I just got annoyed with having it done. And the person I was with at the time forbid me from having it. I was going for a tattoo, and I said I might have a face tattoo, and he's like, you are not. And it was more like a fuck you, I'm doing it anyway, which is probably not the right thing to do at the time, but I'm glad I did now. Wish I'd gone for more. But that was a defiance tattoo, and also I used to draw it on anyway. And then it became a thing where it was a self-harm thing, because I do have mental health issues. I used to self-harm quite a lot, so I would use tattoo as therapy. So instead of hurting myself with whatever I would use, I would book myself in for a tattoo, and I'd have pain from that instead, because it lasted a lot longer and I had something to show for it at the end. And also the fact I was so badly bullied in school, and also out of school as well. I was very meek and very mild and wouldn't really stand up for myself, and I thought that if I looked a little bit rough, that people would just leave me alone. And it tended to work, actually. They look at me and think I'm either a druggie or I'm just, sorry, I mean, that's a really derogatory term, I'm sorry about that, but you know what I mean, like I'm a little bit rough and I shouldn't be messed with. And that really isn't the case at all. Like, I would help little old ladies across the street, I would do anything for anybody. I'm really I don't know, I'm don't like confrontation, I'm not argumentative unless it's with John. But yeah, it was a mixture really. I have tattoos, like I said, as a mask to portray that I'm a lot harder than I actually am. And yeah, a defiance, and just the fact I like to be alternative. I would actually like more tattoos. I'm actually going for a tattoo here. I'm having all this covered up, so I got these because I liked Kat Von D and she had them, but I'm actually going for almost like a nautical kind of compass tattoo that's going to come out here, and that's going to go all the way down to my ears. I'm actually having that done because I can cover it up with my hair if I want to. So yeah, I just love tattoos. I hate the process, I hate the pain. I use Emla numbing cream for a lot of things, because why should you suffer if you don't have to? Tattoos frigging hurt. So yeah, that's it. That's why. Long-winded answers, I'm sorry.
Hello, question number 7. What is your dream job? And you can't say mother, like occupation. Well, that's an occupation. You know what I mean. Dream job. What you got?
Right then, what are we on now? Question number 7. What is my dream job? I think now my dream job would be, I'd love to be a presenter. I'd love, love, love to do presenting on telly or something like that. Now, I know I am looking the way I am, and the fact that I swear a bit probably wouldn't stand me in very good stead. And I'm in my 40s, so nobody's going to take me on. I'd love to be on TV shows. I really, really would. I think it would be a laugh. I'd like to do things where you can, you can prank people, you can have a laugh, you can talk to people, and I think that would be my dream job. Had you asked me this a few years ago, it would have been to be either a police officer, which I did actually go in. I went for my police exams, well, my tests, and I passed them all. I just failed on my final interview. Or a tattoo artist, but I'm shit at drawing, so that kind of doesn't work very well. But yeah, a presenter of some sort would be amazing. I think I'd really like that. Getting the chance to talk to people, getting out there, having a laugh, and oh my god, like my dream, my absolute dream, even though I'm not a celebrity, is to appear on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Like, I literally want to do that so bad. Because it was KORI's favourite TV show, and Ant and Dec host it, and Ant and Dec are patrons of the Sick Children's Trust, who looked after KORI and I whilst we were in Newcastle Hospital. So yeah, and I want to go on there and donate 100% of the proceeds of whatever they kind of pay the contestants, donate the whole lot to charity. That would be my dream. But yeah, I want to get into TV and stuff, but like, who's going to employ me? I'm a nutty, sweary, scruffy, pyjama-clad cow.
Hello, this is Shauna with question number 8. So this question is, what have you learned? Like, what's been the greatest surprise or gift? Not physical gift, but just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, from all the YouTube experience, from when it all started with you and KORI, like, what is just something that's just absolutely, like, blown your mind about the whole experience so far?
Okay, this is a really good one actually. So question 8 is, what have I learned from YouTube and what's blown my mind about it? And actually, it's actually a really, really simple answer for this one. It's the community. It genuinely, I mean, YouTube to me was always just something we'd stick on to kind of entertain the kids. It wasn't anything I really put a lot of thought into until KORI became a YouTuber. And yes, he was doing the unboxing and I was doing it with him and things like that, but it made me realise actually YouTube, although there are negative things about it as well, it's a very, very big platform to have a voice on. And I think it's the fact that you can make a difference. And I love the fact that there is a whole community, literally worldwide. Like, it connects you. Like, you can be so isolated at home. I mean, I spoke to people who are bedbound, and they watch my videos as I go out shopping, and they message me later to say, oh my god, thank you for kind of taking us shopping, because I can't do that. I've done the same with other YouTubers, you know, like seeing them go off to places across the world that I would never get to go to. Like, I will never get to go to America or Australia or Japan, all the places I want to go, because I just don't have the money. I can't afford to do it. So to see other people who visit those places, it kind of brings the world a bit closer. But for me, the biggest thing was when KORI was on his palliative care journey and Make-A-Wish and Johnny Depp kind of teamed up to help this YouTube channel grow. And then obviously everybody else jumped in and they all helped KORI as well. And it's the sense of you've got friendships around the whole world. Like, you don't even know these people personally, although we have met, obviously personally we've met. There is so many out there that it just brings the world to you. Like, you don't have to leave your house, and yet you can have friendships all over the world. You can visit places you've never been to. I think it's the sense of, it is the sense of community. It's a sense of, there's so much kindness out there as well. Like, you turn on the news and there's negativity everywhere. And don't get me wrong, there's negativity on YouTube as well, but there is so much positivity and kindness, and you've got a platform to do something. That's why I used my platform and my YouTube channel to promote mental health. I advocate for it and also raise money for charity. And we still do that on Crack in the Box, which is KORI's, which is just this one here. So this is my son's YouTube channel. I will link it up to the description of this video as well. And we still raise money on that as well for charity, you know, and items and things like that. So it gives you a voice. I think it's The most thing that's blown my mind is all of you, is all of the support. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like it's a whole different world. It's like living in a bubble. It's incredible, and I intend to carry it on both YouTube channels as well, for as long as you guys let me.
Question number 9. Hard one. Can there or will there ever be anything positive from KORI's passing? I don't know if that's even answerable. I don't know.
Right, okay, so this one, can there ever be a positive about KORI's passing? I would have said no. No positives at all a couple of months ago. I mean, to be fair, even a couple of weeks ago, I attempted my life. I attempted to take my life, and ended up in a psychiatric unit, and it's just, and I was just at the point where I was just like, no, like, why has this happened? Why has he fought his whole life to stay alive, only to kind of die at the age of 11 years old? Like, why? He was one of the most loveliest, he is one of the most loveliest, kind, beautiful boys ever. Like, why? But actual fact, if you stop and think, had KORI not have been on palliative care, had he not contacted Make-A-Wish, we contacted Make-A-Wish on his behalf, had Johnny Depp not stepped up for him and kind of helped his YouTube channel to go and get huge overnight, and had everybody else not jumped in, then there'll be a lot of lives that possibly wouldn't have been saved. I have actual letters literally down there. I have people writing to me from all over the world, postcards, full letters, cards to say thank you, presents which come with notes to say thank you. And these are people who have said, because of you and KORI, we have registered our children, we've registered ourselves on the organ donation register, which in the UK I think is an opt-out system now, but that's not the case for the rest of the world. I think KORI's passing, the positive sides is obviously he isn't suffering anymore. He's not suffering. He can breathe. He's not in pain. He's not needing incredible amounts of drugs to keep him alive. He's not scared anymore. But the positive thing about him is that he has left a legacy. So my beautiful boy here, my beautiful smiley, amazing, gorgeous boy, he has left a legacy where people can talk to one another. They can make decisions maybe that they wouldn't have thought about before, because, you know, to be fair, who thinks about their children passing over? Like, nobody wants to think about losing their child. So the fact that people have actually messaged in to say, look, you know, we've now considered putting our children, and we have put our children on the organ donation register. So without knowing it, KORI has potentially saved hundreds of lives, because one person can donate so many things to other people after they pass away. So I think that would be, he's like an angel to me. I think he is. I think he's left behind a feeling of friendship around the world, and the fact that it's, and the battle that it's okay to fight for things, but it's okay to not be okay as well. It's okay to be open about how you're feeling. So yeah, I think in a long-winded way, it was just, the positive thing about him passing is the fact he's brought a lot of the world together. He's formed friendships that I never thought possible. He's got people to potentially save other people's lives as well. So that is, to me, is, I can't think of any other reason at all, which is why he would no longer be here. And he knew he was going to go, and that's what he wanted, to help people.
Okay, I think this is question number 10. Oh, too close. I need my selfie stick. To wrap this all up, first of all, I want to say that it has been so amazing getting to know you and being able to meet your family and KORI, and it has just meant more to me than you will probably ever know. So my question is, do you know how much that meant to me? Do you know how much you have affected people and how you've opened up conversations and you've been real with us all. And do you know how amazing you are? Because I sure hope you do.
Okay, question 10 is, do I know how much meeting you and oh my gosh, so this is so nice. I actually cried when he sent this through, and I showed it to my CPN and she cried as well. My CPN's my community psychiatric nurse. I actually played her this video and she cried as well. I guess I don't really know how much that I mean to other people, because I think I still very much feel as though people are supporting me because I'm Kori's mum, not because I'm Pixie. That people feel sorry for me. I think I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm actually a nobody. And I don't mean that as in kind of like, you know, like I don't mean anything or I'm worthless, just that in the grand scheme of things, like, who am I? I'm just somebody's mum, you know, and so in that aspect, no, I'm nothing special. I don't necessarily realise that I've impacted anybody really, apart from when I get the letters to say, look, you know, thank you for being honest about your mental health, and that is beautiful. It's incredible. And I appreciate everybody. Like, I appreciate people reaching out. Like, it means a lot to me. But no, I don't think I feel any more special or any more that I've impacted anybody's lives as much as basically the next person. I'm nobody special. But we personally have met. So for those people who don't know, Shauna actually came and met KORI after he passed away. So she was so Shauna, obviously, you know, you were over in the UK. You were going to the Hollywood Vampires concerts, and we'd already arranged, hadn't we? We'd already arranged to meet up. You were going to come to our house to meet KORI. KORI was excited. He knew you were coming, and unfortunately, obviously, on the night of one of the concerts, that's when KORI passed. So you still came out to meet us. Like, you know, we were messaged, so we have physically met each other. So, and that to me was incredible, because you didn't know us really, and you turned up at the hospice and you came with gifts for all of us and cuddles and love, and it was as though we'd known each other our entire lives. And then you came into KORI's room, and KORI had already passed away, and you sat with him and you talked to him, and you know, and you were sat with me. And I love the fact that you brought a Lego set. So you brought the Lego bouquet. So for those people who don't know, KORI loved Lego, and Shauna actually brought a huge bouquet set, like a Lego bouquet set. KORI made one very similar on a previous YouTube video, and she brought it for me to build with KORI. And the nurses, just before that he left to go to the funeral home, they turned the fans off in his room, special fans, and I laid the Lego all across KORI. I put the pieces, the stems of the flowers, into his hands, so he was holding them, and I spoke to him like he was with me. And that was one of the most beautiful, heart-wrenching, special things. And I've got the bouquet out there in the hallway, and that meant a lot to me. So you saying, do I know how much that I impacted you, or how much it meant to you to meet us? We feel exactly the same way about meeting you. It was a huge honour. It really is. And I think, never mind about me making an impact on anybody else around the world or anything, but all of you have made an impact on me. You've made me a stronger person. You've given me the confidence to carry on doing this YouTube channel and KORI's YouTube channel. You've helped me to help other people. You've given me a purpose. So I have to thank you all for that, seriously, because I genuinely believe that without all of you, I wouldn't be here today. I don't think I would have survived it. Well, that was pretty intense. So I'm really sorry if I got a little bit like in depth with those questions, but oh my gosh, like, Shauna, thank you so much for sending them in. Like, it really did mean a lot. I love people doing this kind of thing. Like I said, literally, it is okay to ask any questions. Some of them are going to be really difficult to answer. Some of them are going to be easy to answer. Some of them are funny. Some of them are not. literally anything goes. So if you guys want to get involved in doing this, I'm still taking in questions. This is something I'd like to keep going because I think it's a really good way of us getting to know people and people getting to know, because people ask me random questions all the time. So I thought Q&As are just the perfect way of doing it. And you can ask questions about KORI, like his favourite things, about England, about the house, about anything, you know, like our habits, and I don't know, literally any question in the whole world. 10 questions. So this is how you do it. You go onto Facebook, because realistically this is the only way that I can do it. Go onto Facebook. I have a page called The Crap Goth. It's an open page. If you direct message me saying you would like to take part in this, I will then message you back. Bear in mind, I might not see it straight away because sometimes they go into my others inbox, but I will message you back and I'll let you know exactly how to do it. It is so super easy. It will be 10 questions that you need to film. But I will go through it and you film yourself. It's not as though I have to do anything. You film and you send the footage to me, but there's a certain way you need to do it. So I will let you know. If you want to take part in that, please do feel free to contact me via Facebook and do that. It's always lovely to hear from people right across the world. Honestly, as many places. I want to get this as far across the world as possible. It's amazing. And it will, like I said, I will literally answer anything. But for this one, Shauna, thank you so much for your love and your honesty, and thank you for meeting us like in the flesh. It was incredible to meet you, and I hope we see each other again. Thank you for asking these questions, and yeah, you're incredible. You're all amazing. So if you like what you see on this video, this channel is full of random stuff, not just serious stuff, random stuff as well. Please do make sure you are subscribed to this channel. The algorithm is kicking people off, so if you think you're subscribed, you might not be, so just go and have a check. That'd be fantastic. Please do interact with my videos, share my videos, comment on my videos. I also do like to talk to people, so I will spend a good 2 hours some nights just tapping away on my laptop, which is here, just you know, talking to people as well. So yeah, please do feel free to, like, you know, interact, say hi and things like that. And also make sure you tick that little bell icon. I never know which corner of the screen it's appearing on because I never know what device you're on, just to make sure that you get all the notifications when a new video does go live. But thank you so much for everything, and I shall see you all again soon. Goodbye. That was high pitched.